Welcome everyone to Mystics Outlook. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. And look, the Mystics hold on, literally hold on. The title is very fitting for how this game came to a close. They beat the Fever 89-84 for much of the game. Washington did a very good job defensively in building a double-digit lead. I think that lead was 20 plus at one point. But those fourth quarter issues, they reared their ugly head, but Washington was able to outlast Indiana to get the W. But Cardell, I know that's to the group chat. First thing you talked about was just the execution, and that was like 3 minutes left in the game, and it's kind of like so much of it at times is obviously the opponents play a role in it, but there's so many self-inflicted wounds that occur. But
I really got to do some thorough research to see what the Mystics' offensive rating, the turnovers per game, field goal percentage is in the fourth quarter this season. Because if you look at their record, you just think they're getting blown out every game. They're not competitive. That's not the case. Most of these games, it's only been about 3 or 4 stinkers in the whole season. Most of the games, they're either up or right there going into the fourth quarter. And then the fourth quarter, I don't know what happens. You saw it just now in the fourth quarter. Turnovers, just like elementary school level turnovers. Like we were talking before the thing, like when Aaliyah Edwards dribbled the ball past half court and then just threw a weak bounce pass, and then Caitlin Clark stole it and went back the other way. It's like they're coming back. They have momentum. Why are you even doing that? Hold the ball secure the ball until you know you can get the pass to a guard. But other than that, why are you dribbling up the court anyway? You see what I'm saying? Like getting in some open space and buy your time. Why panic? Why? And then the field goal percentage. Again, not shooting the ball well because the turnovers are compounding and you starting to feel the pressure of the lead once again slipping, and everybody's trying to make a heroic play instead of just being poised and executing. You almost blew a 22-point lead. They were up 21 with the fourth quarter started, and that almost went away that quick. They were outscored 29-13 in the fourth. It's just unacceptable, man. When you beat them literally in every quarter you beat them. In the fourth quarter, the Mystics had 7 turnovers and was 3 for 11. You know, in that quarter alone. Having 7 turnovers in a half, coach like, all right, now be careful. In a quarter, it's like, what's going on? Especially with the game. And most of them came like the last 5 minutes. Most of that damage was like in the last 5 minutes. But nonetheless, Ariel Atkins, who's the player of the game, no doubt about it, easy. No. She found a way to get a stop and get a bucket to make sure they walked out on the road with a much, much needed win. Staying in a race for trying to get that AFC. They're 3 games back of Indiana, who now holds the AFC in the playoff race. So they're still right there, despite the rough season, the injuries, all that. They're still in the mix. So you still compete. You still keep fighting. For the most part before that fourth quarter, hell of a game. Dominant. Both ends. Led by Ariel. This is the Ariel Atkins I expect to see more of. It hasn't been consistent this season. Not necessarily maybe the 26 points, but being the efficient scoring, being between 15 20 points, but doing everything else, the lockdown defense and all that. I expect that every game because I feel like she's that good. You know what I mean? And when she plays like this, the team naturally just gets behind her and plays. Sometimes a lot of people think the leader is the one who's the most vocal or whatever. Sometimes the best leaders sometimes don't say much. They lead by action, and she's that now. So, she has to try to find a way for them to get out this hole and get in the playoff mix. She's going to have to put together consistency, playing like how she played this afternoon for the rest of the season. They really don't have no room for her, especially if they remain injury-riddled like they are and have been. You know what I'm saying? The bench, Tori Walker Kimbrough, still consistent off the bench, providing some good scoring. 10 points, 4 of 11, 3 assists. Leah Edwards, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Solid all-around performance. Just that one turnover was costly, but outside of that, hell of a game, especially as a reserve. Van Loo Didn't turn the ball over a lot. 13 points, just solid, man. You know, defensively, she did a good job. For the most part, dealing with Kate, because Caitlin did a lot of damage late in the fourth quarter. So I know her numbers gonna look crazy, like she was just torching them. For the most of the game, they kept her in check. It's just the fourth quarter it got ugly. And Dolson, look, 13 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. The vet, super vet. She finds a way to get it done. That's what experience does. You figure ways around whatever limits you may have physically or skill wise. That's what experience brings. You understand how I can get around this and still make an impact, and that's what she does. Ultimate team player. And this is with Maisha Island having an off game, 1 for 8. Ingsler being off. Went out 2 for 5. And a little bit of minutes. And Melbourne, 9 points. But she's more of an energy player. So I think they're just starting to get to a point where it's just grind out wins. We're let's be real. They're not gonna be able to win pretty. They're just not, unless they just hot. That's the only way. Figure out a way to possibly win the game and doing that. And in this game, they led with their defense, with the toughness, the rebounding, and stuff like that for the first 3 quarters. And that allowed them to get a big lead, because playing that way got Aaliyah Boston in foul trouble. And that's a big blow. That's a big blow for the Fever. They got to keep her on the floor. Once she got in foul trouble, who's down there I need to be afraid of that's going to block my shot? Who's down there that really help on the boards in the star line? I mean, Elizabeth Smith can come in and do that, but it's not the same fear factor. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same threat. And you saw that with the Mystics. They took full advantage of that. So that was key, but they wouldn't have been able to take advantage of that if they'd have been playing passive, playing soft, settling for jumpers, not attacking, and not defending. Not defending, man. So other than that, man, hell of a win, much needed win. They really needed that win. Even with that being said, with Aaliyah Boston out, they still only won a rebound battle by 2, 31-29. They won it, though. See what I'm saying? So it was key. It was key. Like, Mike shines out and then shoot the ball well. When she led the team with 9 rebounds, she found ways to make impact. That's what I mean. You want to grind out wins. And they're going to be pretty all the time. It may not be pretty for the rest of the season. Who cares? But what's most pretty, you look at that record, and it's a nice little record, especially after the start, and you headed to the playoffs, and that's all that matters right now.
Like you guys been saying, it's just been honestly just about treading water until the cavalry can arrive. Honestly, tread water into the break, regroup during the break. For the folks that were treading water, give them a chance to relax, and then see if you're still in it on the other side of it and make a push, right? But the thing with you mentioned the 7 turnovers in the fourth quarter, right? They had 16 total in the game. The win for them. It's been all I can hear is Ray's saying that timely in his win, but it's the when it happens for them, it's been the issue almost all year. It's like Indiana turned the ball over more. However, it wasn't the last 5 minutes of the game. Like, they turned the ball over for most of the game. However, Washington's bulk of their turnovers came at the worst moment possible. Like, 7 turnovers as you're trying to close out a game. Is crazy. And you only had 16 on the game. One of the reasons you were able to build a lead was you didn't turn the ball over early in the game while you were turning them over. But it's time to close out a game, and you just can't take care of the ball. And I would like to agree with everything you said about Ariel. I love the fact that she just led with her assertiveness. Her coming out and being aggressive really it changes the bunch when she comes out being aggressive. Obviously, folks would love ideally to let the game come to you, get in that flow, but we know what type of situation they're currently in. You gotta lead with your front foot. And she did that today and routinely, even during some of the runs Indiana had, just getting to the line. Not settling for a jumper, just getting downhill, getting to the line, attacking offensive glass here and there. Sometimes she didn't get the boards, but making a mess down there. The ball rolls off Indiana, might roll to a teammate. You talk about defensively, the 3 steals. There's no doubt that she's player of the game in this one. And Dolson and Walker Kimbrough have been unsung heroes during this last stretch, like this last month and a half, this last 2 months. Both in their own ways. Like, Dolson didn't, she's been going She had games where she's going crazy from deep, shooting the ball from deep. She still shot it efficiently today, but there's also been games like this where we need you to score inside, and she scored it. She's given them what they've needed. Same with Shatori. She didn't get the 17 she's been averaging, the last 4 or 5 games or what have you, but you can count on that production from those two. And it's been huge when you're missing so many people.
Right.
Having folks you can count on. So shout out to them for that. And like you said, man, you needed this one because you got a tough game this weekend. You got the champs, and you build it once again. But again, not only did you close the gap on Indiana, this goes in your back pocket in case things get interesting later in the year. Because who knows, there's a world where later in the year you make a run, but you lost or you dropped all your games in Indiana.
Yeah, man. And it's amazing that they even built that big lead because Indiana shot 53% now. Not the full quarter probably boosted that, but fast break points 26-9. Like the Mystics aren't the fastest team by a long shot, and that's what teams try to do, run them into the ground because they know they lack depth and then they're fade and wear down, but they held strong, and that's a big part of the reason why you shouldn't turn the ball over. Defense and control, take care of the ball. You dictate the pace. You see, when you slow teams down, then they got to execute in the half court, and if you do that, Mystics got a chance as long as they rebound and get good shots. The teams run on them, they basically give them outlet passes with their damn turnovers and stuff like that. It's gonna get ugly, and that's what you saw a couple games ago against the Aces and whatnot. It's a fairly simple game, man, and for the Mystics to get out this hole, they have to make teams play the way they want them to play. They have to dictate things a lot more, and they have to play a certain style. Than always allowing the opposing team to dictate things, and then they end up having to play their style and find a way to play their style to win. It's just, even with them full strength, it would be tough. But definitely without Shakir, and Carly, and obviously Sykes, you just can't do that because you're losing a lot of talent up and down the roster.
Man, like you're losing 3 starters. It impacts everything you do offensively and defensively with those 3 people gone. It impacts everyone that's currently on the court. But credit to them for getting this W. They definitely truly needed it. We're gonna just skip the X Factor. You already mentioned who the player of the game was a little bit earlier. I think we're all on that. Everyone is in agreement in it being one Ariel Atkins. We're gonna get to X Factor. Had some choices, but who you got?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Dolson, man. I'm gonna have to go with it. 13 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 of 8. She had to deal with a couple monsters. She helped get Leah in foul trouble. Melissa Smith, nothing to sneeze at. Double machine. Man, she holding on. Look, she's not the most athletic. She has size, but Dolson's not the most athletic. But she finds ways to get it done, and that's what people don't understand, man. That's what being a vet is all about. You got experience on and how to navigate things, and she's doing a good job. And then one underestimated thing about her game that helps the Mystics tremendously is her screen setting. That's a big body to get around, and that wears on you. And guards, as the game going on, it's like a running back that keep hitting the defense time and time again, keep running the ball, getting 2 yards here, 5 yards there. The defense get tired, they get fatigued. I'm tired of tackling this dude. This dude ain't going nowhere. I'm tired of it. See what I'm saying? All of a sudden, boom, the big run comes. And that's what Stephanie provides with her screen setting. All the Mystics really got to do is just make the right read and knock down shots. Because she's going to get you open. And she can pass. You do little dribble handoffs, you do screen and slips, even with the guards and stuff, she can find you. And now she can stretch the floor, which early in her career she couldn't do. And that's the progression of her game and working on her game and stuff like that. She can stretch the floor, which means the big has to stay there. So she's drawing the big out the paint. That opens things up for the guards or the other big. And that's where Shakir's missed. Leah's kind of taking advantage of it, but Shakir's a little bit bigger and more athletic. That's where you're missing. You know what I mean? Because even with that, they're versatile pieces that are missing. So when certain players got to go to the bench and they're tired or whatever, foul trouble, whatnot, you can still maintain a certain level because, fine, we'll move Shakira to the floor. or we'll move Sykes to the 2 or the 3 and not really lose much when Atkins needed breathing. Have Julie run the 2, have Ainsley. You know, it's just a variety of lineups you could throw out there due to their versatility. When those pieces are gone, and with certain players on the team that they have on the roster, they're strictly what they are, and they're not as versatile. And you know, they get in trouble, get in foul trouble, or something like that, get banged up and not having a good game. It's really not much room to make any adjustments. You got to hope they come out of it and then try to draw plays to get them easy shots or something, but it's tough. So that's what you're missing, man. That's why the Mystics really have no room for error. You can't give them all those turnovers. It's one thing to miss shots in the fourth. That's fine. You get in the gym working. The turnovers is just, you're just not reading the floor well, or you being lazy with your passes. It's one or the other. But definitely double center, man, because she's been huge. She's been a vet. Like, they're still in the mix because of her and how Shatori's become more strong lately.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And even a further point, you're talking about her ability now to stretch the floor. Even the added dimension now, we've seen her, over the last month and a half, attack closeouts because folks are having to come. You have to come. There was a stretch there where people were kind of taking their time to get out to her. It was raining threes, like it was almost automatic for a while. I think it was almost, was it almost the month of June? She was going crazy from deep, and then we got to the end of the month. Folks had to start closing out, and we started taking one dribble pull-ups and starting that little elbow jumper or runner, whatever was going on. But again, just credit to her for that, and obviously with Shakira gone, his size gone. It's big, man, clogging up the paint. You mentioned the passing already. Her and Shatori have been huge for them. Just keeping them afloat because, like you said, they're stuck in one way of playing right now until they get bodies back, man. But shout out to her and Shatori for the job they've done, and definitely for today. Having to deal with Leah Boston solo at that is a lot to ask for anybody, and they're able to hold things down. But good job by Washington. Get a couple days to get themselves together. You got Asian company in here on Sunday. So,
and those for those that know, Dawson shooting 49% from deep. Dawson shooting 49% from deep this season. So, yeah, you got a guard out there.
And again, with Carly being out, which is somebody you brought in specifically to help in that area, with her being out, Dawson shooting 49% from deep is kind of a big deal right now. Because there's not guards on the team shooting that well right now with the folks out. Like, there's no Sykes, there's no Carly right now. Ariel's doing what she can, but there's some games where Van Loos gotten hot, but those been consistently knocking down the 3 ball at a high clip for them has been big, man. But if you had nothing else, I want to thank y'all. And, obviously Washington, enjoy that win for Mystics fans, and we will catch up with y'all on Sunday afternoon.